Welcome back to another episode of Unhinged Bookish Thoughts with Liz and Carrie. This is our holiday episodes part 2. In the first part, we went through all of the books that we buddy read together. But on this episode, we are going to be talking individually about books that we read. We're not going to go super into detail because we want to avoid spoilers. And we would love for you guys to read them and then, we can have a conversation about it. But we're going to talk about our notes. Liz has always got some funny fucking comments, always. And kind of maybe the tropes, how they made us feel. And then from there, you guys can, go find them and get them read. So.
Mm-hmm. And as a reminder from the last one, we do have the spreadsheet in Google that if you want to access to get over 100 book recs in a variety of genres, you can find that link in our bio. I'll see if I can put it in the descriptions to our stuff. So maybe I can even include it in the podcast stuff. But it's definitely on our Instagram for sure. And I'll put it on our Facebook page as well.
Yeah. Which we have a Facebook page now.
We do. I made it last night at like 1 a.m.
Liz has been getting crazy. And...
I do. I think we should have just a quick note. Eventually we'll have to record something of just things that we are hoping for season 2. So we are doing our seasons based on the year. So 2024 is season 1. 2025 will be season 2 of the podcast. And we have high hopes. We have big goals. We have things that we would really like to achieve. Me being, I don't want to say the spearhead on that one, but it's more there's a lot of things that I would have to do. You know what I mean? You don't have time with school. I have a PA that I can outsource to stuff. And she's a really good PA. Justine is phenomenal. We're working on getting a website.
Oh my God.
Justine knows how to make websites. She's helping redo my website for my author website. So she will be making our podcast website as well. So we are going to have all kinds of things. We're going to have authors on. We're going to have narrators on. We're going to have all kinds of big goals.
We love you, Justine.
Yeah. She keeps my shit together. If not, I would be lost. I just need to know we have 47 followers on our page already. So just in case you're wondering, I already have us up to 47 because I emailed almost 300 people this week.
Oh yeah. And also with that being said, thank you to everybody that has listened to us this whole year, our first season. This started because genuinely our voice memos are crazy.
Yeah.
But I will say the one thing about Liz is if I mention something to her, she will be like, well, let's just try it. Because one day I said, I would love to have a bookish podcast. And you said, okay, let's do it.
Okay. I now look.
And then I was like, wait, what? And you said, yeah.
Let's fucking do it.
Let's fucking do it.
Let's fucking do it.
So thank you all, everybody from the bottom of our hearts. Because I would say out of everything, the podcast is something that we really cling on to. It's a really great outlet for us and creatively, and it brings us together. So yay, it wouldn't be me if I didn't make it sappy.
It's because we don't have book clubs near us. We don't have we don't live close to each other. So our podcast is definitely our bullshit time, I would call it. It would be our FaceTime, right? Instead of doing a FaceTime, we just hop on a podcast, record it, and hopefully make people laugh from it.
No.
Because that's how we roll. So
we like to embarrass ourselves publicly. It's mostly what
I mean. Yes. So we like to do. But yeah, thank you everyone who has joined us in this year. It's been a wild year. It has been. Yeah. So I was thinking back about it last night because I'm working on my author wrapped for the year because I have 2 of them that are going to come out this week. One is a chaotic one that's just funny, and the other one's actual stuff. And I was like, holy shit, my book has been purchased in 15 countries. I was like, and even our podcast, how many different countries have we been in? 9?
Yeah.
People in 9 different countries have listened to this podcast over the last year.
It's kind of crazy.
7 top fans. I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
If you are, you have to comment on this. You have to. Because I need to know who you are. If you had, and it wasn't Ariel. It wasn't Ariel. And I was shocked by that. I was like, how is it not? How are you not? So if you are one of our top fans, please comment and let us find you because we need to know who you are because obviously you are also our bestie. So please.
Yeah.
But I have one that I would like to start with that really just sets the tone.
Yeah, let her rip.
Okay. This is called Beneath the Monster by Serenity Steele. I got this on, I think it was like the Stuff Your Kindle Monster Day. Okay. I'm just going to read my note. Maybe not all of them. No, I am because they're hilarious. Ready? His cum is green and tastes like cinnamon.
Okay.
He came on her house.
Okay.
Insta love to the extreme. What was this one? Hold on. I don't know what the last one said. Something about dad. Hold on. I don't know what I put there. Let me scroll over. She almost banged his dad.
Okay.
Yep. So this is a like Grinch retelling in a weird way. So like the Grinch is a monster and she's one of the, it's not called Whoville, it's called Youville. And so like she's a you and like she's trying to become an elf. And so you've got the like, I wouldn't call it like forbidden romance, but like she's trying to be like this good girl and like be one of Santa's elves and bring Christmas cheer to everyone. And then she finds out like she sees the Grinch for the first time, whatever his name is in this, and she's like, God damn, why am I attracted to that? And so then she's like, gets this plan in her head that she's going to win the contest to become an elf by bringing cheer to the Grinch. And well, you can imagine how she brings joy to him.
Yeah. Say no more on that one.
So
this checks out. This checks out that this is one of your holiday books. This checks out.
I read a lot of like really, really random KU smut. That wasn't even KU smut, I don't think. I think I just got it for free, like I said. My reading list is so wild. I have that. I have a couple more. I have some thrillers. I have a horror that's like an alien. Yeah, I read 2 MFMs this month though. Well, I think that one's more of an MMF, I would say.
And I didn't get on this one. Like, I'm kind of bummed about that one. You talked about it. Yeah, and I was like, no, it's okay.
No, this one was weird. That one was
weird.
No,
I'm kind of sad.
It's weird.
I would get sad over not getting to read Grinch smut.
I would recommend it because I feel like people should just read it. Yeah. I always say that with like most unhinged like monster smut. Just read it. Don't take it seriously. Like, did I have a good time? No, a lot of time I was cringing. But did I laugh? Yes.
Great sell. Did I have a good time? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. He was fuzzy, okay? He was fuzzy like the Grinch. He wasn't like a man. He was a Grinch that was fuzzy, okay? She sat on his lap.
I don't know.
And then my brain went into like real life scenarios, and I'm like, that's not sanitary. Just like in my mind, okay, so he's covered in fur, but like he has no clothes on, right? Like it's the fur clothes. So I'm like,
yeah, just sack out. Sack
Where's it
out.
hiding? Do you want to do one? Do you want to go back and forth?
So yeah, so that's how we're starting this.
I told you I have some great comments. They are great.
Mine were not quite to that caliber. I will start with the most recent one I read, and that was Chilled and Thrilled by Cleo White. I did not take notes, so I told Liz I would go based on like tropes and like tiny little details because I don't want to give things away, especially with novellas. So Chilled and Thrilled is like a age gap, best friend's dad situation. Very sexy, snowed in moment. And the dad is also like her coworker / boss.
Is this the photography one? Or no? Okay, there's one that was very similar that I saw floating around that, and maybe it wasn't snowed in, but it was like her best friend's dad, and like there was some like photography involved or something, and so That's a very common like trope though, right? Like best friend's dad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If there's one thing about me, if your best friend's dad is getting snowed in, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read that. I'm gonna eat that shit up. I
You're gonna
love that.
impatiently wait for them to bang.
Ooh, you did not wait long. You did not wait long. 10 out of 10. Recommend.
Have you ever read Cleo White before? Because she has a lot of books out there.
This is my first Cleo White book. And I fucking loved it. Read it in one sitting. Abigail, actually, I saw her. She's doing Smutmas, and she posted. So that's. And then Cleo White started following me, and I about passed the fuck out. I was like, "Holy shit!" It's good. It's cute.
With my
it's
own
spicy.
Cleo.
I know.
I had
my
Cleo
fucking
Evans
God.
follow me, and I literally like fainted.
Another fucking manifestation. Another
100%.
manifestation.
I'm gonna do it.
Who shout out there? She's having a book narrated, or did have a book narrated by Theo and Maddie.
So Cleo has 14 books according to this. So she is one I've seen around quite a bit, and so it may be some I will have to check out. This one, this looks like the newest one. No, that's 2023.
She does have a newer Christmas one, I think.
Well, this one says it's Out of Sight, and it is a doctor's contemporary romance. Age gap. She writes a lot of age gap, but it says sexy daddy doctor.
Hell yeah.
I could get down with that. So what would you say about this one? Would you say everyone needs to read it?
No, because people can be assholes. I would say if you don't really love like the taboo-y age gap situation, just leave it alone.
Yeah.
I think that it's very sweet, and one thing that I will say, I just think it's going to be a spoiler, but I like how everybody involved was mature about things. That's what I'm going to say, because I don't want to say any more without giving something away. Because sometimes I think with those age gaps, other people involved tend to have a reaction that makes it feel like yucky.
Yeah,
and then
totally agree.
And then you're like, oh yeah, this is like a younger person. Does that make sense? So
yes,
that really helped. So in that way, I think you would like it, but in other ways, it's more for me than it is for you.
I have a lot of those type of books.
Our recent thing has just been not liking the books that each other reads, but
yes, and it's weird because for most of the part we read like the same things, and we're like pretty on par with it. But I think it's because we're not reading fantasy, and so when it comes to like other genres, we don't like the same things. Fantasy, we love the same things, but like contemporary romance, we don't. I'm not a big taboo dark romance reader, and so you and Ariel very much are like, yeah, taboo, give me it. Like Little Stranger. Then I'm like, should I read that? And you both went, no. So fast.
We know
no,
better.
Don't read that. So I was like, now I want to read it just because you both said no.
I think with Little Stranger, this is a side note, I think you can appreciate a really well written book.
Yes.
And that you would be like, she killed it on that. It's just the content is not your thing.
Yes. I can very much read a book just for the writing and be like, you know what? It's not for me, but the writing style, perfect.
Yeah.
Let me see what one I want to do next.
So yeah, while you're searching, comfy cozy. It's not dark. It's just age gap taboo-y. And it's good. Good spice. And there's maturity in it, and I like that.
I will let's talk about Trick Shot. So Trick Shot it's labeled as a novella, but it's still pretty long. It is, I don't necessarily know the acronym it would be appropriate for it, but it's an MFM romance. Mistaken Identity, Christmas novella, one chick, two dudes that also have their own relationship. I just put that it's spicy. It was too long though, could have been shorter. There's two epilogues at the end and they're both on the audiobook 30 minutes. So like if that tells you how long it actually is, like it's very spicy. Miscommunication, kind of, but it's more of like lying. I didn't mind it.
I've come to notice that if you're reading a MFM, you kind of like it when the two males kind of fuck around
I
together.
do. I like when the men get together too.
I kind of fuck with that too.
There's one of Katie Robert books for Achilles. I think it's a third book in the series. I can't remember what the title is. But that is I think it's technically supposed to be an MMF, where the guys are also together and they're with a girl too. That one I really enjoyed. Patroclus was the meat inside of the sandwich at one point, and I was like,
is this one, going back to this one, is this the one with the pegging?
No.
Damn.
No.
Mom.
This is not the pegging one.
There's one with, spoiler.
There's one with pegging.
One
by one of my favorite authors. No, this was really cute. Ariel read it too, and she had the exact same conclusion. She's like, this was really cute. Like, I like the tension between it's very much like get at it right away kind of thing. Very sweet. The one guy had really bad dad jokes, which is funny. But it was just too long. It felt, like the Megan Quinn book, it just dragged on. Yeah. This could have been shorter. Do I think I'll read the next one of that by that author? Her name's Kayla Grosse, I think is how you pronounce her last name. Yeah. I plan on reading the next one.
Yeah. Fun, playful.
Yeah, playful. Like
sexy.
Yeah, kind of
Liz is not good with tropes, guys.
I'm terrible at it.
She's fighting for her life trying to figure out what to tell you right now.
Yeah, I would just say like mistaken identity would be the biggest one on that one. And I can say this confidently because I think it's in like the summary, but also like there's a second book and it's a pair of twins and they look identical. The one is a very successful hockey player and the other one's like his agent. So the second book, I believe, is the brother, is the other twin. So the hockey one, and then you find out all about his relationship and shit. And so this one is about the agent and his boyfriend, girl.
Okay, so I don't want to spoil anything. It's not the brothers fucking the same girl.
No.
Okay, because I was like,
no. I'm not into that, so no.
Okay, that's why I was like,
no. I don't know what it is. I'd rather it be like two dudes. I like this because it was two dudes that have an established relationship, and then they like bring in somebody else. Sure. This is I would call it a snowed in too, because they're kind of stuck where they're at because it's snowing and they can't get on the planes to go to like Christmas, and so they end up together all in one place. So again, another snowed in. Very common for Christmas.
You had a month of sharing, let me tell you what.
I did. Yeah.
Oh,
3 of them.
2 or 3, yeah.
I had 3 at least. Yeah. No, I mean 4. 4 of them.
You can tell what Liz likes.
I have my tropes. Out of 20 books, 4 of them were sharing. So
we love to see it.
What was your next one?
I'm gonna do another shocker. Holly June Smith, See You Next Winter. If you read Can I Tell You Something, you don't have to. They're both standalones, but this is kind of in that world. It is Can I Tell You Something? It is the female main character's brother. This is his book. I
was going to ask if that's who it was about, because I'm going to read it anyways, but now I'm like, oh, yeah, yep, I'll read that.
Yeah, so it's like childhood friends who have kind of a relationship that like every year they come home and like fuck. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, you know who it's I didn't even think about that. I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Oh, yes, okay, definitely reading that one now.
Isn't that gonna be cute?
It's so cute. I need to read it.
It is so cute. It's spicy. Like Holly is just she's good at what she does and she knows what she's doing. So again, holiday situation, home for the holidays. They have history. They're very hot together. And then it's obviously just like how do we commit to this situation
kind of thing. Yeah. It's cute.
Kind of cute. It's cute and hot. Cute. They're skiing. That's There's nothing else to say. They're short, spicy, and sweet. Like,
yes.
if
Just
you
do
are
'em.
looking to heat up your holidays while
Mhm.
also like not sitting there for 16 hours, these novellas are for you.
I'm gonna run down the thrillers I read, and I'm just gonna combine them all into one. So I did 1, 2, 3 thrillers this month. I think only one's an indie author. One is called The Visitor. It had an interesting premise. Think The Mist. Um, the writing style, however, was very rough. It was very,
Ooh.
very rough. I like the idea though. So you can't use tropes really with thrillers, but think snowstorm trapped in a roadside diner being attacked by aliens. It was very interesting though. Like the concept was really good. I just think that the writing could have been much better. I know you're like horrified. You're like, what?
That feels like a fucking fever dream. That doesn't
It
feel.
does. It does. But it was interesting. Like it could have been really good. It would make a really good movie. Like that premise
Yeah.
would be a great movie. I
Mhm.
think just how it was written just wasn't for me. You Better Watch Out, which it's by James Murray is one of the authors. If you know, they're the guys that have a show. Oh God, what's it called? There's like a group of like three or four guys that are comedians. They're like then practicers and
Impractical Jokers.
that one. Murray in it.
Yeah.
Murray wrote a book.
Oh,
This is
a
Murray's
thriller?
book. A thriller. I felt like Saw with a lot less gore.
So
Like you
are
have
these thrillers or horrors, would you
a
say?
mix.
Because now I don't know the difference.
Um, I would say they're leaning more into thriller because there's a lot more horror. They like teeter the line. They're like a thriller horror because they have like elements of thriller with like suspense and stuff like that, but they have like the gore and the murder of a horror kind of thing. So this one, think Saw, but
Okay.
you are trapped in a town that's like fake. Like you've been kidnapped, trapped in a town. Like,
That's kind of fucking creepy.
that's the best way to describe it. Like, it's a town that looks like it's like back in like the 80s, like 60s maybe. I can't remember when it was, but like everything's like fake. It's like a made up set, and you're being hunted.
No.
So,
No.
I just put that these people are not very smart.
Jesus.
It was okay. Like, some parts were just like really confusing. Like, I personally, if you're gonna do like a horror with like a lot of torture, I want better descriptions of it. I know that sounds like morbid, but like I wanted to feel like you're the person in the scene watching this person be mutilated.
Yes, you want the anxiety that comes with that yeah.
The panic that's coming with it. Yes.
Mhm.
The last one I read was called Dead of Winter. This was my favorite of the month for thrillers. I love No Exit by Taylor Adams. One of my favorite things. It's very much like a snowed in vibe. So
Mhm.
this couple is going on like a cabin snow trip, like this getaway weekend. They're on this tour bus with all these other people, and they're going to this like quaint little cute ski cabin with everyone. Their bus stops. There's a tree down because it's starting to snow. Tree is down. They have to stop. They have to get the tree out of the road. And so the boyfriend and the girlfriend, he's like, why don't we just like go over there? Like there's a lookout over there. Like it's got a bunch of mountains. Like it would be so romantic. Let's go. So they go, and then like a horrible snowstorm happens and they get like lost. And you get to watch she makes it back, but he doesn't. And so once she gets back to this like cabin that they all found, like this hunting cabin, you know what I'm talking about? Like there's
Mhm.
always like these little hunting cabins when they're like in the remote wilderness. So they go there, but then they wake up the next morning to their tour guide's head being severed off and stuck into a tree. And then they get kicked off one by one through the story. Yes. It was really good though. Like, my biggest issue with them is that it took too long for them to figure out why they were all there. That was my biggest complaint. I was like, why? You guys, this is so easy to figure out. Like, how have you not figured this out yet? But it was a bunch of people, and then they all got picked off.
I feel like ever since we read that one together or like listened to it, what was
Incidents
that
around the house.
book? I have wanted something like that. So
you should read No Exit, honestly. You would probably really like that.
Yeah, I think I'd fuck with that.
You have to understand, No Exit, I would do No Exit. This one might be a little too gory for you. There's a scene where there's teeth on a windowsill.
I can handle gore.
Yeah.
I just don't like watching it.
Yeah. This one's good, though. I would do No Exit in this one. This one was good. I liked it. But I'd say like a 4 because it kept me, like, I thought I had it figured out. And then it kept giving me like these red herrings. And I was like, no, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And then once you get to the end, you're like, oh.
I'll be honest, even just the element of being trapped in like a winter storm and not knowing if you can get out, that in itself creeps me the fuck out.
Yeah.
Also because it's like too real, because I could literally experience that where I'm at. So
yes,
adding that then killer element, creepy.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Because they at one point they're like, oh, there's like a shed. Like they find the shed. Like it's like nonstop snowing. Like I don't know where they're at. I don't know why my brain automatically said Colorado. Don't ask me why. Colorado or like Oregon kind of vibes, I would say. There's no mountain. No, there is mountains in Colorado, but that's the point. But like they're trying to figure out how to survive, right? They're not equipped to be like in this element because all of their stuff was on the bus and they were like trying to go somewhere to get food. Like it was just like they went from one building and it was just supposed to be a short trip to like the cabin, right? Like a couple hours. And so they're like halfway through the trip and this all falls apart. And so they have like very limited food. They have a cabin that's got no fire that they have to like try to make fire in. They have like nothing. So they have to like survive while also dealing with the elements. And like she was out in the wilderness for like hours and like injured, like all these things. And so they're battling this. And then they found like the shed and they go to the shed. That's this additional like, it looks like a house kind of shed thing. And then they also find more bodies. So like, and they're people they don't know. So the question is somebody hunting them? Or is someone within the group hunting them? So you have to like figure out who's picking these people off and chopping their heads off. The funniest thing was one guy's like, I think a bear did that. And I literally went, it was severed off. And I think I sent you and Ariel a snap of this. I said, it was clean off.
Yeah.
Bears aren't clean.
If someone tried to pull that shit, I'd instantly be like, are you the killer?
Are you the killer? Yeah, sure.
What the fuck do you mean?
But yeah, that was probably my favorite thriller of the year. Or the month.
I do love your mix of just getting like stuffed to the max with 2 PPs and then boom. Who is ripping heads off?
Who is ripping heads off? I mean, the other one was, it definitely felt like Saw. So the James Murray one was like Saw, where you had to like figure out what was going on. Like you would do, like they stepped into this building and all of a sudden you heard a click and then the person's head fell off. So it was like, yeah, just like in Saw, like you go a different direction, you think it's the safe way, and then all of a sudden you're just dead. It's the same concept. So that's your style. Go read that one. But those were my thrillers for the month. What's your next one that you read?
Yeah, back to Nothing Like That.
Nothing Like That,
guys.
I'm the thriller reader. Horror.
Listen,
I've been into horror lately. I'm
realizing that all of mine are small town because they ultimately like coexist together. Like all
With
of the
Christmas,
Holly June
yeah.
ones, all the Holly June ones, they can kind of link together. I read another Marion Moore book, and they're all intertwined in ways. They're standalones, but whatever. It is
oh yeah, that's on my list too. I love the foiling on that.
This is the special edition one. I did get it signed.
Aww.
This one is part of the Strawberry Hollow series, kind of like the Christmas List, same town setting. It's a home for the holidays, best friend, brother's best friend, and like a bet. Okay. So if you like those like playfully kind of situations, this is another fun, spicy, cozy Christmas read. Small town. There's like nothing I can say that won't obviously you
Give it
know
away,
what's
yeah.
gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But it's fucking cute. And the female main character doesn't really want to come home. And then
Mhm.
all of this stuff kind of happens and it's just fun and playful. And I don't, like I said in our last episode, Marion Moore can write a sex scene. Like
Yeah.
I just wanted like really hot, spicy reads that didn't hurt my brain because I have nothing to give.
Yes.
And these were just perfect. They were exactly what I wanted. Honorable mention is a Festive Feud by Marion Moore. This is technically
Mhm.
book 2, so it's Mistletoe Bet, this one, the Festival Feud, and then a Christmas
then
list that we read together.
Okay.
Uh, if
I
you want to
also
see,
I like that every single one
well,
it's like different cover. Like they all don't
yeah,
match. You know what I mean? Like they're all very distinct to their like what's happening in them.
well, she does actually. She has a set of all the foiled ones like
Oh,
this.
nice. Mm-hmm.
I just bought different kinds. I don't know. That's what I was going for this holiday
Yeah.
season. Hot, spicy. That's the same thing, dumbass.
Yeah, but still. They could be
Yeah,
different.
because see, there's this one, and this is kind of
that's
like the
cute.
character one, like the Christmas list one is.
Yeah. They're so cute. They're so cute.
Those
I
are
like
mine.
them. I plan on reading the rest of hers and Holly June
Please.
over the next couple months. So totally agree. I will quickly rapid fire mine that I also read because I obviously read more than you. I'm gonna try to see how to do this. Okay, so I read December Darling by Lauren Asher. It was cute, but the FMC was annoying. She kept acting like the victim when she wasn't. She singled herself out. It was very cute. Another small town romance. Reluctant relationship, I would call it. It's a nurse and a doctor. So that was cute. It did touch on like she's a pediatric nurse, and so touching on like the mental health and like okay, Lights Out. I always come back to this. Lights Out does a great job at the very beginning, especially with Allie and like talking about the mental strain on healthcare workers when bad things happen. And so December Darling did a really good job at that. I enjoyed that part. This is my second Lauren Asher book. I like this one more than the other one I read, but it was okay. It was okay. I read Meowy Christmas by Evie Savage. This one was really cute. Okay, so if you're just looking for a quick, I would call it fated mates shifter romance, this was it. He was a puma shifter, which isn't something that like you see often.
I don't hear that one often.
But he can use his tail. So there you go. There you go. That one was the one I sent you the video at like 1 a.m. The very beginning, page 2, had me cackling so hard. I'm friends with Evie on Instagram, and so I messaged her and told her that I have not laughed so hard and like an introduction to a story before. I will just say it involves something from Marvel and butt plugs, so just go read it. It's so funny. I laughed so hard. I did DNF 1, and I'm not going to talk about it because I don't know why it's so popular. Let's see. I have this one. I think the title is wrong. I have it Dear Santa, but I think it's actually called The Party. It is... I'm trying to think of how to describe this one because I had a hard time remembering what it was until I read the blurb. She takes care of her brother. Like she has like not ownership, guardianship of her brother who is on the spectrum, and she has her own like bakery. I believe this is that one. There's not much on I'm trying to get this. It has to be this one. There's no other book that I read this month that would bet that. Yes. So she owns like a bakery. She does a catering job, meets this really hot bachelor. Things ensue. Hold on. I'm trying to see what my notes say. The autism was done overall very well. It's not easy to do. Sometimes it's a little cartoonish, but I really liked the MMC's aspect in it because like he didn't understand it, but he wanted to. Like he didn't have much interaction. And so he was like, I'm gonna figure this out. Like, I'm gonna figure out a way to like help kids that, especially if they're interested in my type of business, because he was like a tech guy. He's like, if they're interested in what I do, can I utilize them? Like, can I create a program for them? And so he did. And it's like super sweet. I like the best friends more. There were definitely more tension between them. Like she like showed up at, the best friend showed up at the main character's apartment, but he wasn't there. So his best friend was there. And the tension between those two, because she's like, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm just taking care of you, baby. I was like, I need this. Give me more of them. I want them. I'm gonna save my favorite for last. Okay, and my favorite author for last. So that we can swoon on that for a second. Let me see. Silent Night. It is a dark romance. My thing says, have you ever thought what would happen if you fucked the guy burglarizing your house?
Yeah.
That's my note. That's my note.
I feel like a lot of us are thinking about that all the time. So
all the time. I said it felt like a D-rated porn plot. I hate the
I could get with that. On one night I read 3 books, and this was one of them. He kept calling her innocent, and she was a girl. She was 24. He was like, I've never had a girl before. I've had women. And I'm like, no, let's not do that. He was like 2 years older than her. She was like, oh my God,
such an innocent little girl. And I was like, it kept being described as like, she looks like she's my age. Then how is she literally a girl? I'm like, what? And but there's like, I will put a trigger warning on that one. There's a stepbrother that really doesn't want to be stepbrothers in like the most forceful way. Yeah, not a good way. Stepbrother. Okay,
you had me
warning
there.
On that.
You
one.
had me there for a second.
Okay, now I'm gonna do the 2 really weird ones. All right, ready for these 2 KU unhinged smut. One is called Cookies and Cream. It says, this one is wild. The only way to describe it. Why does this 40-year-old act like she's an old hag? I have no idea. Why does it come so hard he falls over? What kind of recoil is that? Okay. This one is all over the internet. It is a gingerbread man with like a naked, half naked man with a gingerbread head. Okay. So he ends up in a witch's oven and turns into a gingerbread man.
Okay.
Now, what you don't know, and this may be a spoiler, but he comes so hard at what's happening between 2 other characters. I would say it's an MFM. No, MFF. 2 chicks, 1 dude. So he's watching what's happening. He then comes so hard, he trips backwards into an oven.
Yeah.
I know. The worst part is that when they see him, everyone becomes so lust raged that they try to eat him.
It's funny because I haven't once seen this come across my feed.
No.
And also, why didn't we read this one together?
I don't know. I read it. It's wild.
Oh my God.
It's wild.
What is that one called again?
Cookies and Cream.
I'm gonna honestly download
it. Do it. I want to know your reaction. The other one is called Elfed. I only have one comment. Why does it spin?
And that's for everybody else you need to answer that.
This is a fae romance. He is sentient in a way, in a specific object. And then he can only come once a year. So there you go. Enjoy. But then again, why does it spin? Okay. Take it with you.
Is the Cookies and Cream by D. Dove?
No, it's by Latrexa Nova.
Found it. There is a lot of cookies and cream.
I can believe it.
One is from the Milky verse.
No, thank you.
We're gonna hit that up later.
Yes, we will. So the last one I'm gonna talk about is called The Perfect Gift by the amazing Cleo Evans. I did not read the blurb at all for this. I don't tend to read the blurb. I didn't even watch any of her videos on it. I just said Cleo wrote it. I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, here's the thing. When it comes to Cleo Evans, Liz doesn't need to hear anything.
I don't
else.
I just read it.
You just say it's by her. Boom.
I'm down. I'm in there like swimwear. Yeah. Okay. I just said, wow, spicy. Went in this blind and still surprised by the plot. Felt like gifting me to his best friend. That's what it felt like. I also got that vibe from One More Gift. That gave me the exact same vibes too.
Yes.
I would say yes to this one. This is what I said earlier. Yes, if you like it when a man gets tied to a chair and his wife gets satisfied by two lumberjacks. No, if you don't like pegging.
To get this book read right now. I need to get this book read right now.
Just announced, this is going to be an audiobook, and it's done by Theo and Maddie. I'm so excited. I was like, I'm going to reread this solely for the fact that I want the audiobook. It is
Hold on.
Spicy.
Theo and Maddie, this is for you.
I know exactly what Theo would say. He goes, okay, Pookie. No, get all grumbly and be like, okay, Pookie.
Yeah.
I know it. But yes, they're going to do the audiobook. It's called a Chuck Husband. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I don't know these words. But the scene that they posted is a really good scene. So, yes. I will give a little context for it. They're in the kitchen. Her husband is in the living room with the other lumberjack. He, the one that's in the kitchen, knows that she is just touch starved. He can see it. And then sexiness ensues. Oh, wow. Her husband is on the other side of the kitchen with the other lumberjack.
For Cleo Evans.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
I mean, it's like really sweet though. Like the married couple is like a married couple. Like,
I think
they are together.
I think it's when dark romance. I don't think I like dark romance poly sharing situations.
This is very much they're all sweet together. Like they're all kinky as fuck, but like yeah,
I'm down for her. I'll do it.
I'll do it for Cleo. But yes, it is very spicy. Again, I did not read anything. And then when the husband got tied to a chair and they're like, you're gonna watch us bang your wife, I went, what did I get myself into? All right, let me keep reading.
Yeah, just a moment, and then we continue.
let me debate. Do I like this?
Do we know when the audiobook is coming out?
They haven't announced it yet, but I will definitely be rereading it.
I will be dual reading the absolute fuck out of it.
It's good. Like, I like Cleo because there's not like, I don't know. It's one I can shut my brain off on. Like, it's one of those. Like, I don't do that often, but hers are very much like, you know what you're getting into. It is going to be filthy. It's going to be a good time. Mm-hmm. So just
filthy, well written, fun as fuck. Like, yeah.
Yes. I adore her writing, and I can't wait to meet her. And that is my goal for 2025 is to get her on the podcast. I can't wait. I'm going to do it. Manifesting. We've got like what, 3-4 authors. We're going to get.
We are manifesting Holly June Smith, Marion Moore, Cleo Evans.
I want to do C.N. Crawford.
C.N.
I don't think we can, but if there's like one, I'm like, if there's one that we could shoot for that I don't think we would get, but that I still want to attempt, it would be C.N. Crawford. Have I ever read any of her stuff? No. Or
I've read everything. Here's the thing. I was just going to bring this up. Amber Nicole, I would fucking die. Yeah. I would. And you know I would. A no from Amber Nicole, I think, would wreck me.
Yeah. So if I ever ask, I'm not asking. I'm not letting you know.
Don't ever tell me unless it's a yes.
And I have like the date and everything plotted. Oh my God. What if I surprised you with that? What if I just I was like, hey, let's record on this date. And then you show up and Amber Nicole is on the camera.
I wouldn't recover.
And you would not be able to do it. I know you wouldn't. So I would never do that to you. But that would be like, you would die. You would die.
I started crying when my friend gave me that signed book.
I can believe that.
Which, yes. Oh my God. But yeah. And also another one, Bryn Weaver.
Oh yeah. That'd be good. Or Navessa Allen.
Oh my fucking God. I would die.
I feel like we need to get like bigger, like as like a podcast, but I feel like I'm down to try. That's like where I'm at. I'm down to try. Like we had pen fucking poll on, okay? Granted, I have no pens.
I do think that there are like levels that we'll get to in confidence if we can grow this thing.
Yeah. Goal for 2025. We're gonna do it.
2025, literally after Villains and Vixens, I might just have to like really pause my content on my personal page, and maybe I'll just fuel all my energy to the podcast page.
We're gonna have so much
Honestly.
content from. I have a lot of events next year, and it's gonna be wild. I'm just gonna record everything, and we can just use that. It's gonna be
Lots of
so
vlogs
much going on. It's gonna be wild. But yes, all the Christmas stories, those were good. I highly recommend checking out the list because there's so many on there. There's so many. I'm like, what do I read this week? Because like technically, like we're done reading for the podcast. So like, what do I read now? I don't know.
Yeah, do we just stick with the vibe, or do we also?
Yes, cookies and cream. I can't wait to hear you go. What the? Like, you told me no. Just read it. I made you read worse. Just read it.
We actively have read something worse this month, and
yes, we have.
Anyway.
That is not nearly as bad. So yeah, go read the list. There's tons of books on there, so you can get a little bit of everything. It's so good. There's so many things. I'm trying to think of even what I'm like. What is on the list that I'm like actively wanting to read, and I don't know. I don't know right now. I'll just go read my own book, make myself feel something.
To anybody listening, both of these episodes will be out before Christmas, and the holidays and stuff. If you are struggling this holiday season, know that our hearts are with you. If you are in kind of a difficult family situation, do your best to protect your peace. The holiday seasons can be really lonely and fucked up for a lot of people. So just know we're sending you love. If you need to laugh, listen to these episodes. Pick up one of these books. Maybe that'll help.
And I'll add, I am low contact with my family. So if you need someone to like lean on, I have very firm boundaries with my family, which is why I'm low contact with them. So if you need someone to like be like, hey, am I being like, they're making me be the bad guy here? Like, what is this? Just DM me. And I will tell you, you're not being the asshole, because that is like the hardest thing, especially during the holidays. Like my first Thanksgiving where I didn't spend it with my family was so hard, but we made it a point to like do things that we wanted to do, that we wanted to celebrate, because it's painful because like you're so used to like going to your family, like being with them. But in the long run, like my holidays are so much better now because I'm so less stressed. Like I don't feel like my mental energy is completely drained because I'm not going and like spending time with people that are just going to suck the life out of me. So your feelings are valid. What you're doing to protect your own peace is valid. Put those boundaries up. Have firm boundaries, because it will make your life better in the long run. It's very, very tough. It's like that, like it's going to be hard. It's going to be really, really hard. But once you get past that, and you start to realize like how much better you feel about yourself and like internally, it's worth it. It's fucking worth it.
Yeah.
It's so worth it.
Set those boundaries. Liz has to keep me in check every time.
All the time. All the time.
Because I am a work in progress on it.
It's a learning experience. It really is. You have to like, and I've said this to you and Ariel, like I'm further in my journey of like boundaries and that type of stuff. And so I can like look at you and be like, hey, this is what you need to do. Like you need to just cut them out, get rid of them.
Yeah,
they're not good for you. Throw them.
But you don't have to be alone this holiday season. Definitely slide into our DMs. We'd love to talk to you guys about these books if you've read them, or if you have something that you want us to read. Like absolutely, it can be really lonely, but you don't have to be. And it's not always fun. Like Christmas and this time of year is not always that fun for people. So we see you in that. Not to bring that down, but
I mean, wouldn't be me. Wouldn't be you without having a moment of like reflecting on mental health, and that's important. So yes, protect yourself, protect your peace, read hilarious books.
Yeah,
because that's what you need.
Or like cutting heads off. Apparently,
cutting heads off. I mean,
books.
There's one book my cousin recommended to me that's a horror. She's like, it gave me nightmares, and I'm like, maybe I'll read that this week. Yeah, I'll read that this week. Who knows?
That'll do it.
I need something. I'll read it. She's like, it was terrifying. I'm like, okay. I'm probably gonna actually read Krampus because Corey said he really liked that one. It's by Brahm. So I may read that one actually. But as far as Christmas, remember, keep your peace, mind your peace. Don't let anyone interrupt your energy. Keep it to yourself. We have an entire list of all of the books. Follow us here on Spotify, whatever app you're listening to. We're on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. If TikTok goes away, we're still on all the other apps, so just follow us there.
Yeah.
And we cross post, so like if you have like one primary, just focus on that one, I guess. But as always, remember to read what you want and don't be a dick. The lighting is perfect.
Holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone.